Hi everyone, my name is Dina. Today I'm going to show you how to make the earrings of my Paradise Treasure set. So it is going to be a set, so today we're going to do the earrings. I'll also have some other videos that will come out that will show you how to do the necklace and then also show you how to do the bracelet. All of these videos are going to be using the same type of beads, just in different orientations and different ways, so that way they're similar but not quite the same. So go to that list of supplies that's down below, so that way you can gather up what you need. Get your bead on it board as well. Meet me back and I'll show you what to do. So today I'm going to be using the gray color of the Dragon Thread size 8. And I just have a comfortable length on my needle right now. I think I have about 3 feet or so. You may have to add thread to it just depending on what you're comfortable with starting with. So to start, we're going to pick up a series of beads, and we're basically doing right angle weave. We're just going to be using some beads that have double holes or 2 holes in it, which these are the round duos. So to start off with, we're going to get one of our bicones. These are 4mm bicones. Then we're going to pick up an 8-0, a duo, and so on until you have 3 8-0s, or excuse me, 3 round duos with an 8-0 on either side. So it's a bicone, and then an 8 and a duo, 8 duo, 8 duo, 8. And that is our first round. So we're going to go bring it all down to the end. I just have a little bit to where I can hang on to. And if you like, you can just go straight through just the bicone. And then this is our first portion of the right angle weave. Now we're going to add this same 8-0 and round duo on the other side of the bicone. So now we're going to pick up an 8, a duo, until we have our 3 duos on there with an 8 on either side of all of them. Then you let that come down to the thread, and then you go through the bicone in the same direction that you're going in right now. And when you do that, that puts everything in just like that. So now let's continue on, and we will add our bicones in between right in here, because we're going to have 2 bicones on either side here. So I'm going to go towards the bottom, which is the first one that we started adding. I'm going to go through the 8-0, the round duo, and then I'm going to come out the 8-0, the second one on the other side of the first round duo, or in between the first and the second. I'm now going to add a 15 and a bicone and a 15. So a 15, bicone, and 15. I'm coming out of this 8-0 right here. I'm going to go back through that first 8-0, that same round duo on the right hand side, and come out the 8-0 that I'm currently coming out of. Then that sets those beads there basically in the center. So now we need to add some beads on this side of it. So to do that, continue through the round duo and the next 8, the third round duo on this side, and the next 8. Then we're going to add a 15, and we're going to go through that bicone that we just added in that direction. So we're going from the top to the bottom. So we add a second 15 on this side of the bicone. And then we're going to add another 15, and we're going to go through that 8, the round duo, and the 8 on the left hand side. And then making sure that your thread is pulled tight to where there's nothing showing. And like this one, sometimes the beads kind of get caught down there in the bottom. You just pop it up with your thread and needle. It should look something similar to that. So now we're going to get to the other side and do the same thing on this side. So we're going to go straight through the bicone. Then we're going to go through the next 8, the round duo, and the 8 on the right hand side, like that. We're going to add a 15, our last bicone, and a 15. Then we're going to go back through the same way, through that same 8, the round duo, and come out the 8. Then continue through the next duo that's on the top, the next 8, the duo that's on the left, and the 8 on onward after it. So you're coming out of that bottom left hand 8-0, add a 15, go through just the bicones from the bottom towards the top, add another 15, and then round out by going through the 8, the mini, or excuse me, the round duo, and the 8 on that side. So now you should be back to where your thread is at, where you started with. I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot here. You could have tied a knot at the very beginning, you could tie a knot later, you don't have to tie a knot, it's kind of just up to you. But that's what I'm going to do here, and kind of help keep everything secure. So that is a couple of steps all in one, but go ahead and get caught up to that, and then meet me back and I'll show you the next step. Alright, so the end of that step, we should be coming out close to where our bicone is at. So I'm actually in between the two 8-0s on the left hand side. What we're going to do now is we're going to add some beads in between the two holes of the round duo. So we're going to go through the bottom hole that we've been going through, add some beads along the side so that way we can get this round duo covered eventually. So I'm going to continue through that 8-0 and then the round duo and then come out. I'm going to flip this so it's a little bit easier for me. Easier for me to do things on the right hand side. So I'm now coming out of that first hole of the round duo. We're going to add 2 15s. We're going to go from that first hole or that inner hole to the second hole or the outer hole. And then when you pull tight, that'll put some beads along the edge of that round duo. Now we're going to pick up 2 more 15s. We're coming from that outer hole. We're going to put these on this side by going through the inner hole or that first hole. And there's a lot of thread going through this round duo right now, so it will be tight eventually. Just kind of wiggle it through and you'll get through eventually. And if you need to, I think have a size 10 needle. A size 12 would probably be a little bit easier, so you can get through things a little bit better. And then that gets your 2 beads on either side. So then we're going to do this on every single round duo. So we're going to move through the 8 and go through the next duo and then do the same thing. Then when you get down onto this side, you'll have to go through the 8. You can go through the bicone and then come out this side of the 8, and then that way you can start doing everything over here. So go ahead and get all of your round duos. In fact, I'll probably meet you back there to show you what I was talking about, but get those first 3 round duos covered, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so now this is what I was talking about. I've got my 3 round duos that have my 2 beads on either side. I'm coming out of just the round duo right now on the right hand side here. I'm going to go through just the 8. Then I'm going to try to go through the bicone. It's not going to let me do it all at once, so we're going to go through the 8. Then we're going to go through that bicone from the right to the left. And then we're going to go up through the 8 that's on the left hand side, and then through that round duo that's just next to it. Now you're set up to where you can start adding your beads on this side. So now go ahead and finish that side and I'll show you the next step. So when you're done with that step, you should have 2 beads on either side of each one of your round duos. So now we're going to complete the section of 15s around the round duos. So to do that, I'm coming out of the right hand side of the topmost round duo here. I'm coming out of that first hole, or the inner hole. I'm going to go ahead and go through the two 15s that we added on the side. Then I'm going to put 15, I'm going to put 5 15s on my needle. And then I'm going to go straight through the two 15s that are on the other side of the same round duo. Now in between the two round duos, or the two 15s on the round duos, we're going to add an 11. So I'm going to go up the two round duo, or the two 15s there. Then on the top round duo, so on the top up here, and then also down here on the bottom, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add two 15s, an 11, and two 15s. Then we're going to go down the two 15s on the left hand side of this round duo, just like that. And this one is going to get just an 11-0, just like the other side. So go down the two 15s on that side. I missed one, only went down one. Then this side is going to get the 5 15s, just like the right hand side. So the left hand side is going to get the same thing. We're going to go down these two. And then in between, to where you're sitting over by where your bicone is at, we're going to add one 15. And then we're going to go up the two 15s on this side. So now you're just on repeat, because now you're set up to where you start doing the same thing that you did down here. So go ahead and get done with that, and I'll meet you back over here at the beginning and show you the next step. Okay, so for the last step, all we have to do is add our wire guard and our ear wire, then tie off. So I'm coming out over here on the right hand side somewhere. I just ended up through one of the beads. I'm going to continue through the outer portion of the beads until I get to that topmost 11-0 that we added up here at the top of the round duo. So just continue through the beads until you get up there. Oops. And then once you get to that 11-0, then we're going to pick up our wire guard, go through one side of the wire guard. Whoops, I missed. You have to go through the wire guard, not miss it. And then we're going to go down the other side of the wire guard, like that. Now I'm sitting on top of a bead, so whenever I do that, I usually like to pinch it to where it sits a little bit nicer on top of the bead. Then you go back through the bead itself, like that. And then I'm going to go through this one more time. Just to get an extra set of thread through there. And then go back through the 11-0 again. Now all you have to do is either get back to your stop thread, which is down here, so we can go, whoops, it's right here. So we can go through some of these beads around the edge until we get to, sorry, I have to get a little closer. I'm having issues seeing the little 15s. So I'm going to go through until I get to the other side of the 5 beads that we added, and which is right here. And then I'm going to pass through that upper hole of that round duo, and then I'm going to jump down to the inner hole, or that first hole of the round duo, if it'll let me go through it. Yep, there we go. And then I'm set up to go through that 8/0 sitting right there, and then that is where my threads will meet, and I will tie one more knot sitting there. This is where I had said you don't have to tie a knot if you don't want to, because we're going to go back to it anyway, and then tie another knot, and then you burn it down close to the product. I will burn those down a little bit better because you can kind of see my threads right there. I'll burn those down here after the video. And taking my ear wire, twisting it to the side to open it up. And there's it open. Make sure that the front is facing. And then you add your earring. Twist it back closed, and now your earring is complete. Thanks so much for watching my Paradise Treasures set, the earring portion of it. Again, like I said in the very beginning, it is a set, so stay tuned for videos on the necklace portion and on the bracelet portion if they haven't made it out already. So if you need any of these supplies to do any parts of this set of either the earrings, the necklace, or the bracelet, go down to that list of supplies down below. There will be some links that you can follow to PotomacBeads' website, so that way you can purchase anything that you need. So thank you very much again for watching, and stay tuned for the next video, because I know it's going to be a good one.